runs a marathon is about a girl, Jillian Bell, who is a little overweight, close to 200 pounds. She goes to the doctor because she wants Adderall. This is kind of all in the trailer. But her doctor's like, hey, I can't give you that because I see that you're not really sleeping well because you keep partying and yada, yada, yada. So I want you to lose close to 50 pounds. And in doing so, she finds some people and she's like, you know what? I'm going to run a marathon to get myself in shape, to feel better about myself, and just feel good about herself. Sorry for the nose itch. It happens randomly. So what I like about this movie is actually a very heartwarming movie. I enjoyed a lot of it. There's a lot of good story elements in this, a lot of good humor, a lot of good dramedy. It made me feel like when I ran a marathon. Sorry, I ran a marathon in Marrakesh, Morocco. I did not train for it at all. So when she hit her 22-mile mark, I knew what she was going through. So I don't train, like I run a little bit, but I train at the 20.2 mile. I felt the same thing she did. My calves were gone. And I'm like, am I going to complete this? And I'm like, yes, I am. It's only 6 more miles to go. And some of you are like, 6 more miles? That's fucking crazy. It is pretty crazy to run a marathon, but I did it. I ran a marathon, and I ran a half marathon in Portugal, and I actually felt worse the half marathon because I was on a corn dog diet the night before. Worst decision ever. But that's not about me. It's about Brittany. You know, it's a smart story. It makes sense about her lifestyle choice of what she's doing. And I guess you can see this in a lot of people not wanting other people to help you because they feel like, no, I don't need your help. So I understand the whole dynamic and aspect of that role. There is one thing I am curious about these based on a true event or true story movies, is at the very end is basically dedicated to the real Brittany. I just don't know if any of this actually happened to Brittany. I know maybe Brittany was overweight and she wanted to run a marathon and that was her goal, but everything in between of like the whole her sister or her living in another person's house with another dude or having an Asian friend who's all about the Instagram and stuff like that. I don't know how true that portion is actually of the movie or if it's more of like Brittany wanting to run a marathon to lose weight and feel better about herself. So that was my only probably negative for this movie. Like I said, it's charming. The very end, it was you had to like you're like, oh god, you're like, why am I about to cry? I mean, there was a couple people in the movies crying just because I mean, I felt the pain because I know what pain she was going through if she actually ran this 22-mile spot and her body seizes up. I know exactly what she went through. So you're like, yeah, I believe that. I 100% believe that. And of course, I'm like, oh, do I want to run a marathon? And it's kind of weird. I came out of this movie like, fucking, I'm running another marathon. And 12 hours later, I'm like, I'm not running another marathon. That was awful. I mean, it wasn't awful. The first 13 miles really wasn't bad, but then you have a mental breakdown of like, oh my God, I just ran 13 miles pretty well. I got another 13 to do, and your body mentally is like, 13 more miles? Are you high? Are you high? You're like, oh God. But no, it's Brittany Runs Marathon. I'd say the only negative about this movie is I don't know how true it actually is with the whole meat and potatoes of the middle half of the movie. So yeah, Brittany Runs Marathon. Great writing though overall. Great acting by Julian Bell. And props to her because for some of the scenes in this movie about her getting dressed and her putting on the clothes and running and showing off her body like she does. I mean, that couldn't be easy. So I give props to Julian Bell for actually doing that. And you only could clap a person for doing that. And if it's actually her, I don't know how they did, if it was all makeup or like a fat suit, kind of like they did in Shallow and stuff like that. But if this was her real, if she did this in real life, I mean, bravo, and that's amazing of her. So Brittany Runs a Marathon will receive a 4 out of 5 with Futons, which equals that 80%. So see the critics' news scores gave this film. So you have critics at 88% with 136 of them, and user scores at 87 with 1,282. And here's critic consensus. Brittany Runs a Marathon is an earnest and hilarious dramedy that finally gives Jillian Bell a role worthy of her gifts. I don't know, when she was in 21 Jump Street, that was another funny movie she was in. But yeah, this is a good movie. It's a great movie. I could watch this again because it felt like kind of like The Big Sick, kind of like the whole dynamic of it. But Big Sick is kind of more serious, and this is more of a comedy. But yeah, good humor. I enjoyed this movie. So do you agree with the 87, 88, or the 80? Chase out the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of Booftonian, you Booftonians. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. And seriously, if you want to run a marathon, it is pretty cool. It is a good experience of like, I did that. I did 26 miles. But it is kind of crazy. And when I did run the marathon, there was like an 80-year-old Japanese man that passed me. I didn't care. Didn't care at all.